Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Booktube Chicks Book Club. Tonight we are discussing our November pick, which was Thanksgiving Treachery by Tonya Kappes. I think most of us either listened to or had an ebook of this, so we don't have a physical copy to hold up. But this was Kat's pick for the month, trying to be on theme with the season. And if you've never been to one of our live shows before, the way that it works is we're going to do our initial thoughts and our ratings, which are spoiler free, for the next 5-ish minutes. And then we are going to go into spoiler discussion. This is not a very long book, so I don't anticipate us having too much to talk about it. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Kat, since you're right next to me, if you want to go ahead and start.
Okay. So this was actually my first cozy mystery book. I'm a huge thriller mystery reader, but this was my first cozy read. I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what to expect when it comes to cozy reading or books. So I feel like I didn't enjoy as much as I thought I was going to. Maybe it's just a story, I don't know. I understand that cozy mysteries are supposed to be more like lighthearted as opposed to like thrillers and like real adult mystery books. They're a little bit more darker and gorier, maybe. But this one felt more lighthearted, and I felt like it was almost childish to me personally, but I did like it, and I gave it 3.5 stars, and I am interested. This author has like a whole array of cozy mysteries based on different holidays. She has one for Christmas. I think there was one for Mother's Day. There's a whole bunch, and I am interested in reading all of those other cozy mysteries because maybe it was just this one that I just didn't feel connected to, and maybe I can enjoy other mystery books even by this author. But I did give 3.5 stars. I liked it. I just feel like I didn't love it as much as I thought I was going to.
I think my initial thoughts are, do I like cozy? We read that other cozy book. What was it called? The one by Travis Baltree?
Legends and Lattes.
Yeah, that one. But similar to Cat, I also felt like it felt kind of childish. I think it was just like the names that they had for things. Like I could not get past the hippity hoppity farm, whatever it was. um, and then like some of the character names, I don't know, there was like Fern and Vern and Dippy? Dippy Delk? What was his name? Like something like that. I don't know. Um and like I get that I like more character focused books. This was kind of like more quickly plot driven, but I don't know. The writing felt a little childish to me. I felt like the dialogue didn't feel very authentic. Um, it's definitely a short book and a quick read, but it could just be my headspace. I feel like the world is on fire, and like this was just so, you know, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. And I'm not going to rate it at this moment because I'm not sure what I want to rate it completely. I'll decide at the end.
So I feel like I have a little bit of experience with cozy mysteries. Um, like the Tita Rosie Kitchen Mystery series, I feel like is lighthearted enough, as well as, although with how the series is going, I'm not sure, as well as the Finley Donovan series is fairly lighthearted. Um, so I feel like I have like a couple of examples to kind of play off of it. And with this one, overall, I'm just thinking it was fine. I gave it 3 stars. And I was a little concerned at first because technically this is number 7 in a series. However, I did look at the author's website and she says you can read them all as standalones. Um, I I'm not sure how much I agree with that because I feel like the characters, like our main character, I feel like we weren't really introduced to anything. Instead, we were just thrown into the action, like quite literally from chapter 1, thrown into the action, which in some cases that works, but I don't necessarily think it did with this one. Um, so I'm not really sure how to feel about that part of the book, or whether you can read any of them or you should start at the beginning. I think it's also a spin-off series as well. So, there's a lot of different factors. But overall, I just thought it was fine. It's fairly short. 3 stars, and other things that I'll talk about during spoilers. So where do we want to start? Okay, I'll start. Well, we're just going to jump to the end, I guess. I don't feel that the ending was very satisfying. Granted, like, it's cozy, but
I felt like this whole book was not satisfying. It just like there were these murders, and it didn't feel like it was serious, like the whole time I was reading. I don't know if maybe it's the narrator, because the narrator had a very like,
I think the narrator definitely did something.
yeah,
It was that, but it was like other stuff too.
she had a very like valley girl kind of like teenager kind of way of talking. So I don't know if it's because of the narrator that I just couldn't take this book seriously. And then there's these murders, and it didn't feel like it was a serious thing. But yeah, I feel like the whole book was just not satisfactory.
do you guys also feel like this is a book that can be read on its own, or do you think that you need more context and you should go to the beginning of the series?
Um, Now that you say it, I agree, but I also don't know it because you said we kind of got thrown into it. I would be interested in reading the very first book just to see how she introduces the series, but I also feel like this book is so short. It's like 160 plus pages, and I feel like there was not a lot of room. The author didn't give herself a lot of room to kind of develop the story and develop the characters and kind of introduce us properly to the book. So I don't know if it's either or, but I am interested in reading the first book to see if you were right that we should have maybe started from the beginning and gotten to know the characters as we go along through the series.
The first in this series, or the first in the series that it's a spin-off of?
The first in this series.
I feel like I just haven't read enough cozy mysteries. I mean, outside of and I forgot the name of it again already. The Travis Baldree. Yeah,
Legends and
Lattes, thank you. Outside of that one, and then like the Tita Rosie's Kitchen one, I don't think I've read a ton of cozy stuff, and I think that's just part of cozy, is that it's not super serious. It's small town. It's like not very descriptive or gross when they're talking about the murders or whatever. So I can understand that, but you want there to be some, like, people are dying. You want there to be some weight to it. Like, what was the other one? It was another Jessie Q Sutanto book.
Oh, the Aunties series.
The Vera Wong.
Oh, that one too.
Yeah. So like that felt more serious to me. And it also felt funnier. Like, I didn't laugh at anything in this book. I didn't find anything funny in it. Was there like funny parts that I missed? Was there anything?
No.
I don't think so.
That's the thing, is like, I think we have like I don't know about you, but like I've read all the Finley books, and I've read all the Aunties books, and I read Vera Wong, and I've read Legends and Lattes, and I love all of those books. And I mean, I feel like out of all of them, like, Finley Donovan is the one that's getting like semi more serious. However, they're all funny. Not Legends and Lattes, but they're all funny. And I feel like that is like, for all these like cozy mysteries. I mean, I'm not an expert on mysteries. I don't read them very often, but I feel like they all have the commonality of they're humorous, they're lighthearted in moments, and they're almost borderline contemporary.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like the humor would have added more to it. I don't know, but I think the thing that was really bothering me was like the dialogue. Like, again, I know it's cozy, I know it's plot driven, I know it's not about like the characters per se, but like the characters just all felt so one-dimensional to me, in the sense where it was like they were just showing up to deliver their lines to move the story along. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't really feel like there was anything to the characters. She would just ask them a question and then they'd be like, "Oh, well, this is what I know about them." I don't know.
Yeah, I
didn't
agree
feel
with
like
you. I was thinking earlier that the book is just like very shallow. Like there's not a lot of depth to it, and I don't know if maybe the author meant it to be that way because again, it's such a short book. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. It just felt like one-dimensional characters with a one-dimensional story.
Yeah, I remember there was like one moment where I was listening to it and we were introduced to her partner, I guess. And it was like we were just supposed to know that they were already like together. Meanwhile, I'm like, who are you? What? I don't understand. Like, why are we getting thrown into this scenario with this person?
yeah, and then she was like saying something about not having dated, or that was like her first boyfriend or something, and she's in her mid-20s. I don't know. It was weird. I mean, even that felt like super shallow. She was like, "Oh, and then I kissed him," and I don't know.
Just changing the subject. One of her books in the series is called The Chocolate Bunny Betrayal. I think I might read that next.
I like I'm not really inclined to want to read anything else by this author. However, I would be interested in going all the way to like the first book in the series that this is a spin-off of, which I think there's like a lot in the series too.
Did you guys listen to like the end of the book where it was just literally like 3 minutes of them reading off all the titles of her books?
I know. I was so confused because I was like I was listening and reading the ebook at the same time. I'm like, where's why are you telling me all the names of the books? I'm pretty sure I can find a list somewhere.
I just thought the titles were really funny. The crazy thing is that I think I have like more than one of her other books. Hold on. I'm gonna look.
I love that you think you have it. You don't know for sure.
Let me see. I'm checking. What was it? Tonya Kappes. Tonya. Okay, so yeah, I have Beaches, Bungalows, and Burglaries, and Insects, Joy, and Investigations.
I think that's the series that this is a spin-off of.
So I have those two. And like, seriously, I liked the alliteration and I thought the covers were cool. I liked that they all matched.
I do like the covers. I'm looking at them now and I'm like, they're so pretty.
So I'm curious if they're a lot longer, like maybe just better developed. Maybe this was like a holiday, let me throw something out there kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the climax and resolution of this was very quick. It was like I feel like this book, I mean, it's short, but it probably could have done with like another like 20 to 50 pages purely because it was like, okay, I want to go see this person's mom. Like I think it was the person who was in jail. I want to go see their mom. Oh, you're the killer. Like it was very like sudden.
So I don't know if I missed anything, but why the hell was she the one trying to figure out who the killer was?
Right? Right? I was thinking that too. I was like, why is the police not more involved? Where's the detective? Like, why is a murder not taken more seriously? I was wondering that too. I'm like, what the heck?
I mean, I think that might also be part of Cozy Mystery, right? Because Vera Wong owned a tea shop and she was trying to figure out who did what. So maybe that's just like the Cozy Mysteries Scooby Doo esque. But like I don't know. I don't know.
Looking at Goodreads, it looks like even like the main series that you're talking about, Chloe, where um, this book is based off of. All of her books are really short. Like the first book, The Beaches, Bungalows, and Burglaries, is only 200 pages. The fourth book is 188 pages, so they're all relatively short
Oh
books.
wow.
Yeah.
But like, how many books in the series are there?
There's a lot.
It's like I don't know if I can dedicate myself to like an insanely long series.
I mean, she must be doing something right? So like she's probably very much just writing on par with like cozy mysteries, because it looked like all of her books had like 4.5, 5 stars on Goodreads. I mean on Amazon.
Well, her main series, The Campers and Criminals one, says there's 39 books right now. Well, 38. 39 is being published at the end of the year.
I'm okay.
And then
if this book had been better, like because I remember I saw on Scribd the first 3 books as an audio in one, and if this book had been better, I had that like ready to go.
And then these holiday mystery ones, there's 11 books. I mean,
I already paid for them, so I guess I might as well.
What do you mean them? Plural?
Well, I bought
the
the
ones you have,
Thanksgiving
like, you
one,
have?
yeah, and then I had 2 other ones.
I thought you were okay. For some reason, I thought you were talking about just the Thanksgiving one, and I was going to be like, Desiree, you bought more than one.
And I only bought it because John was like, $6 isn't that much.
Is she an indie author, or is this
It
traditionally
feels like it
published?
might be.
I don't think this is traditionally published.
Okay, because I was like, it says the publish. Well, I guess
Who's the publisher?
it says Tonya Kappes Books, but that's her name, so I'm assuming
Right,
this
so
is
then
It's
probably
indie. Then.
indie.
yeah.
Did you guys have any trouble keeping up with the characters?
Yes, but only because I feel like it was like, who are you? There was nothing like fleshed out.
It's like kind of like what you said, like a character would come in, do what he needs to do to get the plot going, and then disappear. So at one point I was like, I don't care who you are anymore. Let's just keep the plot going.
And that's kind of how I felt. I hate when I'm reading a book and I'm like listening and like trying hard to like concentrate, because I bought the ebook so that I could read along, because I knew it wasn't going in just the audiobook.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, I don't care. I don't care what's happening.
Do you think if she wrote like another 100 pages, this could have been better for you?
I feel like it would have had to be more than just longer. Like, I don't know. John was listening to it with me, and he was saying something about like her southern twang, that it was like too strong or too emphasized or whatever. And I don't know, the dialogue just didn't feel natural. You know, outside of the characters doing what the characters were doing, like just the dialogue itself, it like, I don't know about you, but usually when I'm reading, sometimes I skip to the dialogue because that usually is the most interesting part, right? So I'll like skip to the dialogue and then I'm like, oops, and then I'll have to go back to the top of the page and like start reading again. But like this dialogue didn't do that for me, because it was just all so like mechanical and functional, and there wasn't anything natural about it. So
I mean, based on Goodreads, this author is releasing these books like every couple of months. So she's writing, she's basically like mass manufacturing her stories. So not to say that it was horrible, and that's not it's not it's a bad thing to do that, but I feel like if maybe she took more time to flesh out a good cozy mystery story, I feel like. But then again, her ratings are also really high, and I don't know
really
why.
high. That's what I'm saying. Like, she's probably just doing what cozy mystery does, but we don't really read it that much.
Yeah.
But are her ratings so high because people are starting at the beginning like they
Well, I don't know, but like being as the fact that like Kat has been reading thrillers for like months now, I feel like thrillers are good. And you cannot deny that thrillers are page turners. And so when you're like in that good of like just suspense and like what's going on, and even mystery, there's mystery and thrillers too, to then like the cozy mystery, it was just like, hey, 2 people are dead. Who did it?
But I feel like even if you take like Finley Donovan or the arsenic and adobo, the police still had like suspects that they were like actively questioning, and you got to see it, like the main character was somehow involved, or like sometimes the main character was the suspect, like but like one of the bodies was found outside of her mom's shop and nobody was concerned about the mom. Like,
Right? It just
thank you.
it just I'm not gonna write off Cozy Mysteries again. I've only read this one and then Legends and Lattes, and I liked Legends and Lattes. But I probably won't put it high up as one of my favorite genres to read. I won't pick it out.
But I feel
It
like
was just
Legends and Lattes had so much more
it did. And
story
it was like
for it. Like
it was an absolutely also more fleshed out story. There was like substance to it. There was character development, and the story was interesting to read. This was just like it felt like the author, you know how you write draft, like a writer writes drafts and they put out their point. At least I don't know, I'm not a writer, but they put out their points on what they're like, kind of like the order of the book, like how they want their book to go. I feel like that was it, and she put like minor details in each bullet point and then published it. And I feel like there was just not a lot of substance to this book, and that's why I feel like maybe she wrote another 100 pages giving us more details. This could have been a lot more enjoyable.
but if people are like, I mean, because if you're saying she has 30 something in this series, you know, people are just probably like eating them like candy. You know, especially if they're like 200 pages, they're just like buying it and being like,
Yeah.
moving on to the next.
Yeah, I also feel like that she knows who her audience is, and you know, she's giving them what they want, which is all these she's again publishing these books every few months. And so she's just like pumping these out really, really fast for the audience that she has, and based on her ratings, they're really enjoying it. So she has her formula and she's sticking with it.
I have like other other cozy mysteries that I bought not that long ago, because I do love, like, I love the covers of like the majority of them, and I love the alliteration, and I love the like the puns in them in the titles. I just think they're so funny, especially like the ones that are based in a bakery or like based on crafting or based on cats or whatever the case is. They all sound so funny. And so like I really wanted to try, probably because like they tend to be long series, and I you know, was excited about collecting them or whatever. But the one that I bought was, I think, Dumplings and something. Hold on, let me see. And I think it was like all about like a Chinese food restaurant or something like that. I probably won't be able to find it now. Oh, Death by Dumpling.
Why does that sound funny?
So it's the first book in the Noodle Shop Mysteries.
That's so cute. That's such a cute.
I feel like I've heard of that. Does it have a red cover?
It has like, yes.
Okay, then I know what book you're talking
about. It has like a rice package from like Chinese food with like noodles coming out of it.
That sounds cute.
I would say like especially for you, Kat, like there's better cozy mysteries out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, everything I've mentioned, I recommend, like Arsenic and Adobo, especially the Finley Donovan series, almost anything by Jesse Q. Sutanto. Like there's so many better ones, I feel like, out there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like if it had comedy, if that would have helped it, like if that would have made it just more memorable or entertaining, or
yeah. Just like the writing a little bit more elevated because there's two dead people, and yeah, probably some comedy wouldn't hurt.
I think there's also such a thing as like reading a book at the right time, and like it's Thanksgiving, so I get why you picked it, but I feel like just the state of the world just made it hard for me to care about their festivals and their flavored coffees, and like
that, however, I feel like you could say that about any book, though.
I mean, you could, but like I feel like I've just been leaning into different types of books lately. I don't know. It just felt too light and fluffy.
I mean, I do feel like this is outside of your normal wheelhouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Do you want to talk about the ending? Like, I mean, like the legit ending, like
which part?
The part where she like kills the killer with a heel.
Oh yeah, the pageant lady. The pageant lady. I forgot. I've read like 5 books since this book.
Because it was just like, okay.
I mean,
again, it wasn't taken seriously. It felt like a comedy, like a just a funny moment that we read and okay, bye. This is the end.
We're like, yeah, that happened. That's fine.
Exactly.
I mean, the lady was really determined to have her pageant school open. She pretty much just proved why right there.
I don't know. That was just kind of wild to me, and then it did just like end after that.
Yeah.
Like, but that just seems like such a like if you kind of think about it and reflect on it, such a grotesque way. I don't know. I thought she was going to be brought to justice. I thought like the cop would come out and arrest her. I didn't think she was going to get killed by somebody's high heel. Like, because what happens at that point? Like, then they're just going to bury the secret, and then nobody knows who killed Albert and what was her name? Albert and Tara, or
I don't even know.
The people that need to know.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say about it, unless you have other questions or notes, Chloe.
Nope, I went through all of them. So I guess we can go ahead and do final thoughts.
I mean, there were questions at the end of this. Hold on.
Were there?
There were discussion questions. It's discuss the dynamic between Violet and Darren. How does their relationship contribute to the overall story? I didn't really feel like it did at all.
I feel like this book is not deep enough.
Like that. Exactly.
It says the role of the merrymaker is a unique aspect of Holiday Junction. How does this secret responsibility impact the community and the characters? I don't even know what Holiday Junction was. Was it in like an event, or was that their town, or
why do I feel like that's part of the other series? Hold on.
I think that's part of I thought that was their town.
No, I thought their town is called Normal.
Oh, never mind then.
Hold on, let's see. Oh wait, no, it is Holiday Jones. Is Normal might be the other series. Oh my god, now I'm confusing myself.
See,
Well, this next question is funny. It says Millie Kay's reaction to the concept of a tofurkey introduced humor to the narrative. Discuss other moments where humor was used to balance the tension of the mystery.
There wasn't enough
I
humor.
know, I don't recall any humorous parts in the story.
Also, tofurkey. I love tofu. And I love turkey. I don't know how I feel about the two of them together. Have you ever had tofu?
A tofurkey doesn't have turkey in it. It's like a tofurkey is like
Well,
like,
I'm assuming it's like a vegetarian dish.
yeah,
But
they try to make
I'm
like a
like
vegan one.
I'm like, I love tofu and I love turkey, but I don't think I've ever had one that's
You're
the name
basically just
combined.
I mean, you're basically just eating tofu.
Does it taste like turkey?
Maybe they try. I've never had one.
I was accidentally confusing tofurkey with turducken for a second there.
No, not turducken.
Okay, so I don't remember any funny parts in the book, unfortunately. The concept of tradition versus change is a reoccurring theme in the book. How does this theme manifest in the characters' actions and the town's festivities?
These questions are too deep for...
I agree. All right. This one says the murder weapon, a brick with frosting, is an unusual choice. What does this say about the killer, and how does it tie into the story's theme of artistry and deception?
I wouldn't even really call it a murder weapon because she didn't die.
But why the fuck would you put frosting on a brick?
I don't know.
Good question.
Reflect on the tension between the art district and the village. How does this tension drive the plot and affect the characters' relationships?
I feel like I'm back in high school reading these stories about a book that...
I mean, I guess like wasn't the art district like a little bit more wealthy, a little bit more like urban, where the village was more like small town, homey, farmy. Yeah, I don't really feel like giving it additional depth.
I would love to know what the author's answers for these are.
I'm gonna look her up on YouTube after this. See if she's done any interviews.
Is there anything else we'd like to talk about?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I guess we'll do final thoughts. Overall, I thought it was fine. I'm giving it 3 stars, which just seems to be a trend for me with book club books this year. While it's on theme, I wish I had liked it more, because I feel like this is a series I would have been interested in looking at. Like, the covers are really pretty. They're all on a different theme, and I love that. But overall, just 3 stars. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to the first one, so I'll just leave it as unknown for now.
I gave it 3.5 stars. I will definitely read the first book, and I will probably read the Chocolate Bunny one, because that sounds fun. This was like the second book as a cozy mystery that I've read, and I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun for what it was. It just, as the theme of this live show has been, it was just very shallow. There was not a lot of depth to the story or the characters. It just felt like everything was one-dimensional, and it felt like nothing was taken seriously. There were these people that died, and it felt like it was kind of like like, oh, okay, it happened kind of thing. Nobody took it seriously. So I am interested in reading the other books, but this one was a 3.5 stars for me.
So I think I'm going to settle on a 2-star, and that it was just okay. I'm sure like there was just a lot of contributing factors for it just being okay for me, like the narrator, who didn't necessarily do a bad job, but I feel like she kind of overplayed some of her delivery, which added to that feeling of it being childish, or just feeling like it just wasn't serious enough. And again, I get that it's a cozy mystery, and I'm sure it abides by like cozy mystery things, but I feel like I have read some other cozy mysteries that were, one, like funnier, just more entertaining, where the dialogue felt better, and it just felt more authentic. Like the characters felt so shallow that it just made the whole story feel so inauthentic, and it kind of made me feel like I didn't care about it. I do have 2 of the author's other books, so I will try to read them at some point, but I don't think I'm in a rush to do that.
So for our final book pick of the year, we are going to be reading Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. And I just finished another Tessa Bailey book today, so I am very excited to read this one. This is one of her Christmas romances. I think it's the one that came out last year. And I am so excited to read this one. We are going to be having our book club a little early in the month, just due to the holidays. So let me double check, because I remember I had a different day written down somewhere, and it was a whole thing. Okay, yeah, I was right. So our live show for this book is going to be on Sunday, December 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern on this channel. So if you want to join us, make sure you pick up the book and then come join us on December 15th. Other things that are happening are, we are going to have Pages and Pals happening on December 6th, I believe, at 8 on Kat's channel, which is linked down below. And we don't have a quarterly romance for a couple of months, but Desiree's channel is also linked in the description below. And I think that's everything we have going on for the rest of the year. So thank you everybody for watching, and hopefully we will see you next month to discuss Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. We'll see you then. Bye.